multiplying polynomials. I'm going to be multiplying polynomials using the exponent rules. So anytime you're multiplying variables together, you add the exponents. We've got different types. We got monomials times monomials. We got monomials times polynomials. We got binomials times binomials. You know, it's just all different kinds of ways they can look. Let's start with monomials. Let's say I have this. Now, the coefficients we multiply first. We're going to get negative 12. For the variable, got my variable, we're going to add the exponents. We get 13. So this is the answer to that monomial times a monomial. Let's say I had negative 5x to the 12th times negative 7x to the 9th. Well, again, we're going to multiply the coefficients together. Positive 35. And then we're going to add the exponents. 12 plus 9 is 21. So it's 35x to the 21st power. Now, let's do a couple that have multiple variables. Let's do 2x cubed y squared times 4x to the 5th y to the 6th. Well, again, multiply the coefficients together. That'll give me 8. We're going to have x's and we're going to have y's. Now, the x's, we've got 3 x's here, 5 x's here. That gives me x to the 8th power. I've got y squared and a y to the 6th. That also gives me an exponent of 8. So this is the final answer. Let's do one more, I guess. We'll do negative 10 x cubed y and negative 9 xy cubed. So again, multiply the coefficients. We're going to get positive 90. Now, we've got x's and y's. So we're going to have so many x's and we're going to have so many y's. Now, notice this first parentheses has x cubed and the second parentheses just has an x. But we need to remember, if there's just an x, it's really got an exponent of 1. So we're going to add 3 and 1. We'll get x to the 4th. Same thing with the y's. It's understood to be a 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Now, a monomial, times a binomial. Binomial times a trinomial, sorry. Plus 3x minus 8. Okay. In order to do the binomial times a polynomial, I like to use arrows. I'll multiply the first time, it's on the outside by the first, by the second, and by the third. So it's 2x squared times x squared, and then we're adding the exponents. So we'll get 2x to the 4th Then we go 2x squared times 3x is 6x cubed. Remember that x has a 1. And then 2x squared times 8 would be a negative 16x squared. That's the final answer. Say I had negative 4x to the 5th, and inside I had 7x to the 9th, minus, I don't know, 5x to the 7th, plus 2x to the 4th. So again, I'm going to use the arrows, multiply the 4 times this, and then this. Alright, negative 4 to the 5th times 7x x to the 9th is negative 28. Add the exponents. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. Add the exponents. Negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8. Add the exponents. Okay. Let's do one that's got 2 variables. So let's say we have 3x cubed y to the 4th. We'll multiply that by 6x to the 5th y squared minus 7x squared y cubed. So again, using the arrows, we'll multiply the 3 and the 6 to get 18. Now we got x to the 3rd, x to the 5th, add those together. For the y's, we've got y to the 4th, y squared, so that gives me y to the 6th. Then, we got the second term, 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. X cubed on the outside, x squared on the inside, that's x to the 5th power. Y to the 4th, y cubed gives me y to the 7th power. That's all I can do. Now, let's move on to binomials times binomials. That's pretty common. I'm going to use something called the FOIL method. Now, I like to use arrows to show me what I'm doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first term, multiply it by everything in the second parentheses. So x times 3x is 3x squared. Don't forget to add the exponents. Then we got x times minus 7 is negative 7x. Then we'll turn around and take the negative 2, multiply it by both pieces in the second parentheses. So we'll get negative 6x plus 14. Once we do that, we're going to combine like terms. We can combine the 7x and the 6x. Negative 13x plus 14. That's the answer. Alright, let's say I had 2x plus 5 times 4x plus 9. Again, I'm going to use arrows. Start with the 2x. Multiply it by everything in the second parentheses. So we'll get 8x squared. Don't forget to add the exponents. 2x times 9 is 18x. Then, multiply the 5 times everything in the parentheses. We'll get a plus 20x plus 45. Now, we're going to go through and add like terms. These are like terms. So we'll get 8x squared plus 38x plus 45. Alright, let's do a couple more of these. Let's say we had I don't know, we'll do 2x minus 11 times 5x plus 9. So again, 2x times 5x, 2x times 9. So 2 times 5 is 10, x squared. 2x times 9 is positive 18x. Then we're going to go negative 11 times 5x, negative 11 times 9, so it's minus 55x, minus 99. Combine like terms in the middle. 10x squared. 55 minus 18 is 37. Minus 37. X, and then minus 99. Let's do one that's got two variables. Let's do 3x minus 4y times 2x plus 7y. And again, going to do the arrows, so let's start with the 3x. 3x times everything in the parentheses. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 7y is a positive 21xy. Put them in order. Then we're going to do the negative 4y. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. X times y is xy. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. And then the y times y is the y squared. Now we combine like terms. And we'll get 6x squared minus 13xy. That's positive 13, sorry. Positive 13xy minus 28y squared. That's all I can do. Now, there are some special types of binomial multiplication. I'm going to do what's called a binomial square. Now, there is a shortcut for this. I may talk about the shortcut, but the easiest way to do this is since we're squaring something, that means it's the same thing twice. We're going to write the same thing down twice. Now, I said same thing. We don't change any signs. We don't change anything. It's exactly the same thing twice. Now we're going to do the FOIL method. X times x and x times 5. X times x is x squared. 5 times x is 5x. Then take the 5x and the 5, multiply it by those. So we'll get 5x plus 25. Combine the terms in the middle. They are both positive. So when we add them, we'll get a positive 10x plus 25. Final answer. So I had 2x minus 3 squared. Write it twice. And then we can do the FOIL method. Alright, start with the 2x. 2x times 2x. 2x times negative 3. We'll get 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. Then we're going to multiply the negative 3 times 2x and the negative 3 times negative 3, so that's negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Combine the terms in the middle. They are both negative signs, so we can add them together. We're going to get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Now I want you to notice, and I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. When you square a binomial, you will always get a plus sign at the end. Always. That means it ain't going to change. If you square a binomial, you'll get a plus sign at the end. Now, I'm going to show you the shortcut. You can use it if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. Whoops. Let's just do a simple one. X plus 5 squared. There is a formula. I'm just going to write the formula out. What you do is you square the first term. Alright, so we're going to square x. We'll get x squared. You're going to multiply the terms and double. Alright, DOUBL. So let's multiply the 5 and the x together. Well, 5 times x is 5x. When we double that, we'll get 10x. And then you're going to square the last term. And when we square 5, 5 times 5 is 25. So this is the same thing I would get if I wrote it twice and did the FOIL method. Let's say we had 3x minus 8 squared. Okay, following this little formula or this little method, we square the first term, so we'll get a 9x squared. Multiply the terms. The terms are 3x and negative 8. So 3x times negative 8 is negative 24, and double it, negative 48x. Then it says to square the last term. The last term is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. If you can remember it, that's a pretty nice method. But it's square the first, multiply the terms and double, square the last. Now, we have another special type of multiplication that will look like this. It'll be 2 terms, and the terms will be exactly, it'll be 2 binomials. The terms will be exactly the same, but there'll be a plus and a minus sign. Now, I'm going to do the FOIL method, and I'm going to show you what happens. The key to this is they must be the same terms, and the terms must be in the same order. Alright, so let's do the FOIL method. We're going to take x times x, x times 5. So we'll get x squared plus 5x. Then we're going to take the negative 5 times everything in the second parentheses, so we'll get a negative 5x minus 25. Combine what's in the middle. Well, they are opposites. Negative 5 and plus 5. They cancel themselves out, and you're left with 2 terms. These 2 terms have a minus sign in it. What this is called is a difference of 2 squares. So, well, I'll just say 2 squares. Now, there is a minus sign in the middle. When you multiply 2 terms, 2 binomials with the same terms but different signs, the middle terms will cancel out. So here, I've got a 2x and a 2x, and then I've got a 3 and a 3. Since the middle terms will cancel out, we don't have to do the FOIL method. We only do part of the FOIL method. When we're squaring, we're multiplying a binomial and the same binomial, but the sign is different. We're going to do just the F part of the FOIL and the L part of the FOIL. If I do the complete FOIL method, the middle terms will cancel out, so there's no reason to do that. We just got to remember to square the first one, square the last one, or multiply the last two together, however you want to say it. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Negative 3 times positive 3 is a negative 9. It must have a minus sign in it because the signs are different, and when you multiply something with different signs, it's negative. Alright, let's do a couple more. Let's say I had 10 minus y and 10 plus y. Okay. If the constant is first, you leave it first. Do not change the order of these things. It'll really mess you up. So I see that they're the same, but the signs are different, same terms. So I multiply the first two together, 100. Multiply the last two, minus y squared. And you leave it just like that. Do not change the order. Let's do one that's got two variables. Doesn't change how it works. Since they're the same terms, but the signs are opposite, we're just going to do the F and the L of the FOIL. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. Negative 4y times positive 4y is negative 16y squared. That's all I can do. Now, I want to do one that's got a binomial times a trinomial. Now, we don't call it the FOIL method, but it's the same process as the FOIL method. I'm going to use the arrows again. You're going to take the first term and you're going to multiply it by everything in the second parentheses. Then you're going to take the negative 4 and multiply it by everything in the second parentheses. So it's the same principle, it just doesn't have a name. I can make up a name, but whatever. Just use the arrows to help you see what you're doing. So 3x times 2x squared would be 6x cubed. Add the exponent. 3x times minus 6x is a negative 18x squared. 3x times positive 7 is a positive 21x. Now we move to the negative 4. Negative 4 times 2x squared is negative 8x squared. Negative 4 times negative 6x is positive 24x. And then negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. Now, we're going to go through and combine any like terms. Well, I'll underline the like terms. Here are 2x squared. I can't combine anything with the 6x cubed. So it just stays where it is. I can combine the x's, so we get negative 18 and negative 8 would be negative 26x squared. Now here's a single x term, and here's another single x term. Add those together. 21, 24 is 45x. And then notice I've got this constant at the end. It has nothing to add with it, so we just bring it down. Alright, I'll do one more like this. Let's throw in another variable just for the heck of it. We'll do 2x minus 3y times x squared minus 3xy plus 4y squared. You got to be careful with the variables floating around. So again, just going to use my arrows. 2x times everything in the second parentheses. So we're going to get 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. 2x times negative 3xy would be negative 6. Add the exponents of the x's, and there's nothing to add for the y, so just bring it down. Then we're going to have 2x times 4y squared, which is just going to be 8xy squared. There's nothing to combine anywhere, so we don't have to worry about that. Then we take the negative 3y times everything in the second parentheses. So negative 3y times x squared will be negative 3x squared y. Negative 3 times a negative 3xy would be a positive 9xy squared. And the negative 3 times positive 4y squared would be negative 12y cubed. And again, I'm going to be looking for like terms. This is the only x cubed term, so I'm just going to bring it down. Here is a term with an x squared and a y, so I look for an x squared y, and here's one. So we add them together, negative 9x squared y. Now here's an xy squared, and here's another xy squared. We can combine those together. We'll get 17xy squared. And then we've got this term that I can't combine with anything, so we just bring it down. So when you're adding like terms with variables, you got to make sure that the exponents match exactly. Same variables, and the exponents match exactly for each variable. So here is the final answer on this one.